What's up, guys? John, Pat, we're surviving on the cheap, or survival on the cheap, depending on
which part of our page you look at.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that. Anyways, we have various things on the table here, and they're all tents.
They are all tents.
How convenient.
I know. But there are two distinct differences between the tents on the left and the tents on the right. What is that, Pat?
Well, these are red, and those aren't. And that's it. No, there's cheap and then expensive.
Yep.
And today we're going to be talking to you guys about cheap, expensive, what's good, what's bad. But we have 4 tents here. This is the Embark, which you saw before.
Previously reviewed.
This is the Coleman, which we used for our
Monadnock trip.
Monadnock. This is a new tent, and so is this. They're not new. They're both used heavily, probably. I don't know about this one. But
no, that one's basically new.
Yeah, but they both... You've never seen them before.
Yeah, first time on camera.
But we'll just lay down some facts about... We're going to be talking about these two mostly. See that? See what I did there? Yeah. It was a stage trick.
So, right off the bat, these two tents are both... to us, they're both one-man tents. This is an independent one-man tent made by Mountainsmith. It's called the Satellite. I don't know if they're still in production. It's kind of an older tent. Great one-man, bivvy style, really low to the ground, very narrow.
It's like a coffin.
Yeah, kind of like sleeping in a coffin. Great tent. I used this for a week-long trip when I was 16, 17 years old, and it worked out great. This right here, as you can see by the beautiful label that it has sewn into the stuff sack, is the Ozark Trail Junior Dome tent. And now, for a lot of you guys are going to be like, "Whoa, that's a kid's tent." You're right, it is a kid's tent. But we're gonna show you how you can use a tent like this in the same fashion that you can use a tent like this and accomplish the same thing for a much lower dollar sign.
This is true.
So, right off the bat, once you ramble out some facts on either or, just sort of those of you who would like to know.
All right, well, I'm going to start with the Ozark Junior Dome tent. That's this guy right here. Packed up as he is right now. He's 21 inches long. And he's got a 5x5 square around here. Comes with cardboard, which is stupid because it looks like you're carrying like a fold-up chair. But
it does.
It's cool because it's just as small as a fold-up chair. This was 20 bucks. He got it for $5.
I did.
Weight-wise, it's a 2.6 pound roughly total, but when you break it down for all you hikers and backpackers, you like things in ounces. So your poles, they're 12.7 ounces, which is not really...
Not bad.
Not bad.
I mean, considering they are fiberglass poles, and so they're not going to be that
$20 tent.
Yeah.
The stakes are good. 2.1 ounces. The other tent you'll see, much more than that.
Yeah.
By about a lot.
Will be changed, though, eventually.
The tent itself, the fabrics and everything is 26.46 ounces, bringing it to the 2.6 pound total. Now, on to the Mountainsmith. In its current state, it's 18 inches long, and it's got a 6 inch, it's basically 6 inches wide, any way you look at it. Round. Pretty small, not too bad. It's a 1-person tent, technically it's a 2-person tent, not really. But when it's set up, oh, I forgot to mention that setup is 6 feet by 5 feet.
So 6 by 5. So you could actually probably sleep in this like the normal way.
Yeah.
Me, diagonal. But as you'll see when we set it up.
Yeah, it's pretty small. But set up, this guy's 2 feet 11 inches wide, 7 feet 8 inches long, and 2.11 high. So it's a coffin.
Yeah. So if you're claustrophobic, don't buy this tent.
Yeah, basically. The poles will say 8.2 ounces, so it's basically 4.5 ounces lighter than the other tent. However, the stakes are 15.4 ounces. 15.4 ounces. That's more than the poles. And that is a lot. That is almost we'll say 7 times heavier than the stakes in the other tent. The tent itself, basically the same weight, roughly, as the other one, bring it to 3.13, which is heavier than the Ozark, but only because of the poles. The stakes. But it's 80 bucks. 20 bucks, 80 bucks. 20 bucks, yeah. I mean, you can see the trend here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go outside. We're gonna set these two up so you can see what $20 or $5 will get you and what $80 will get you.
Yep. Catch you later. In a second.
In like 3 seconds. Welcome to NTV Cribs. This is my crib. Why don't you come inside? I'll take you on a tour. Here we have the bedroom here, and then I guess that'll be the living room, and that's the closet. There's another closet up here. Put some stuff. I guess that's a dining room, and that's it. I mean, I can't really lay this way properly. I got a little kink in my neck, so you kind of have to go from one diagonal to the other, but it's not too bad.
Lay down diagonally, huh? So diagonally, do you have room?
Oh yeah, I can put my legs out straight.
So
do that, and then if I do, we'll do a display.
Kind of
hanky-janky like.
Yeah, so I mean, from there you can see that you can actually sleep
in a children's junior dome tent.
In a junior dome tent, just diagonally.
One person.
So moving to the outside, we can first talk about
the great vestibule.
This little freaking rainfly.
It's a yarmulke.
Yarmulke.
A tent yarmulke.
It's like it's basically like a tent toupee. If you want to see what all it covers up, is this nice, actually pretty big vent up here. Probably keeps the condensation off of you at night. All in all, I mean, not that bad. And I don't know that you really need a fly much bigger than that. Outside, it's just 2 poles, crisscrossing, freestanding dome style. Really nice bathtub footprint to it. You could probably float this thing in a pond. Obviously just one main door, no windows. Does that door zip down into a window?
No, I don't believe so. Oh, it does.
It does.
Oh
so,
my god.
So it has a mesh window.
That's pretty decent.
Look at this, discovering things. I haven't used one of these tents in like 15 years. But yeah, so all in all, really not that bad looking, and clearly you can sleep one in it. And what's insane is this is a junior dome tent, and it's way bigger than that thing. Look at that.
Oh hey, welcome to my smaller summer home.
So, how's it in there, Pat?
Small.
All right.
I feel like I'm in the ground, ready to die.
So here, I'll give it to you.
I'll give you guys a tour. Ready? This is what I see right now. Let me just nothing. Look at it. It's just so small and narrow.
I mean, does it help at all if I pull out? I didn't stake it down completely, but does that help at all?
Yeah, but the tent itself is still pretty droopy.
Yeah.
It's almost like a one of those mosquito nets you see in movies and stuff. There's a little storage compartment here. A vestibule to my right here. You could probably fit boots, a small pack. Other than that, it's tiny. There's a nice little window so you can see what the weather's like outside. You can see John through the window. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so
Not
on the outside, as you can see, takes about 1 million stakes to set this thing up because it is not freestanding. It is a 2-pole design. It takes 2 aluminum poles, which, yes, they are very light, but not all that durable. Takes, I mean, I think it's like 10 stakes compared to this one where it takes 4. Yeah, it's much smaller on the inside. still cramped as I mean, basically the same as you are in this. You at least have headroom in here.
That one, this tent, you can sit up in. You can have things to your left and to your right, so you can bring things in the tent.
If you wanted to cook in the tent, you probably could.
You could cook, certainly, because it has the vent in the top, so the tent wouldn't heat up too much.
Yeah.
You could change in the tent. That tent, I would not want to try to change my pants in.
I've tried, and I've failed. That tent, you have to get dressed outside. So if it's winter time, you're in the snow, you don't want to be using something like this. Now, don't get me wrong, like, I'm harping on this tent like I hate it. I really don't. I really do love this tent. Like I said, I backpacked with it for about a week back in my Boy Scout days. I did my youth leadership training in this tent. And, I mean, I loved it back then, but I was not 6'2", 210 back then. I was much smaller.
It's a different story now.
Yeah. So, all in all, we'll pack these back down and we'll give you our overall opinions when we get back inside.
So, we just set them up. You saw what they look like. You saw how long it took us to set them up.
Not very long.
Well, in a time lapse it wasn't, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So, I'll tell you what I think, John will tell you what he thinks, and then we'll let you go.
Yep.
Sounds like a class. You can be on your way. I think if I had to pick, if money was no object, I'd still have the Ozark Trail just because it's more spacious. You can lay down in it comfortably, you don't feel like you're underground. And it's, well, cheaper, I was going to say, but money's not an option, so I don't know, I just like it better. That is more legit looking, but I don't know, I still like the Ozark Trail. I'm sure if you're in a heavily windswept area, that'd be better because it's lower to the ground, but overall, I still like the Ozark Trail.
Yeah. So, my opinion. The things I like about both of them, not crazy about the weight on this. I think it's too heavy for a tent that size. I mean, you can. It's also
isn't it listed as a backpacking tent?
It is. I mean, this is definitely a backpacking tent. It's very small, very compact. It's shorter than the Ozark Trail tent, which is nice for packing it up. But those tent stakes, I mean, they're almost a pound on their own. Are you kidding me? So those are going to get switched out. But I mean, if money wasn't an option, wasn't an object, I'd totally go with the Ozark Trail tent. Because it's higher off the ground, you can actually get dressed in it. It's easier to set up. This has about 1 million stakes to it. This doesn't. 4, honestly. I mean, how can you get much simpler than that?
3. You
could do 3, I guess.
Or 2.
But it wouldn't stand up.
That's true.
I mean, also, this is a freestanding tent, so you can get away with not even staking it down. Honestly, you can throw
You're on top of snow and you don't have a 6-foot long stake.
You can just
no problem
put your gear in it, and it's. I mean, when you're sleeping in it, it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Ozark Trail.
You heard it then. You heard it.
So, $20 retail. I paid $5. Don't go by that. I mean, it's very rare that you're going to find a tent for $5, but $20 versus $80, and that was a sale price I found. So normally this is over $100 tent. So, no brainer. I'm going with this one.
Same. You heard it then. We like the Walmart brand Junior Dome tent for young children and midgets. More than a Mountainsmith tent that is made for backpacking and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. On that note, we will see you next time. We have a whole slew of videos leading up to our trip to Washington. Just want to send a quick shout out and thank you to the people who have recently subscribed. Yeah. It means a lot. If you're watching this...
Yeah, like... Intense Angler, dude, you're a G. Also, Tuts, if you don't know of this guy, he's awesome. I've been emailing back and forth with him. He's been giving us a lot of advice about our big trip to Mount Washington. Awesome guy, got an awesome channel. Just into the bar, search Tuts999. Great backpacking videos. Did a whole documentary of his trip on the Appalachian Trail. Awesome dude, check him out. Intense Angler, no brainer. Dude's a G.
Dude's a G.
Like, I mean, how much? I mean, I can't. It's dude's a G.
Hide that, alright? Hide that. But yeah, thank you to the people who have subscribed recently. It means a lot. If you have any feedback, leave us some comments either below. If you have any general feedback, feel free to write on our page. We're very quick to get back to you. We'd like to hear from you guys. But until next time, stay.
Frosty.
Just stay.